Hello, guys. Welcome to Rex Arthur TV. This is the Rex Arthur Show where we discuss LGBTQ issues with an LGBTQ perspective and a humanistic approach. And today we want to focus on the word Tim Cook, the words of encouragement Tim Cook gave the LGBT community at the Loud Loud Festival. And I wanted to do this because I think on the positive side of the LGBTQ, in the LGBTQ community, we need to be very positive about ourselves. Most of the times, we do not receive pep talk as LGBT community. And unlike the when you go to religious settings like church meetings and other meetings, they have a lot of pep talks. They have a lot of talks to encourage people to be who they are, to stand and to value themselves and to love themselves. But I've noticed in the LGBTQ community, it's very rare to find people encouraging, encouraging LGBTQ persons. And there's a negative effect, or there's an effect about that. When you don't encourage a person about who they are, you will there is something that happens to their psychological development. And some people, they fall away. Most of the times they commit suicide. Like, most of the times suicide rates are very high amongst transgender people because of the lack of affirmation from people, the lack of role models for these LGBTQ persons. And that's the reason why it's very important when you have LGBTQ leaders who are role models. And we have people like Tim Cook. He is the head of Apple, the CEO. And just recently, Apple is the first trillionaire in the world. Is Apple the first trillionaire? There is no other person that is a trillionaire. The first one has become Apple Incorporated. And it has become a trillionaire when the head of the company is a gay man. It's unbelievable. It's a milestone in LGBTQ history and economic history that a gay man is the first CEO to raise up a company to $1 trillion value. And that's a great milestone and a great achievement. And then to find this CEO is not even ashamed of who he is. It is even it's even encouraging, and it is even positive. And that's why we want to go through what he said at the festival, when he told people that he gave people that message. And I want to read a few of those things, or what he said. And he said, this is what he said: Tim Cook to LGBT youth, you are a gift to the world. You are a gift to the world. Beautiful uh, title to what he said. And this is what he said. We're going to pick up a few words of what he said. I stand before you tonight as an uncle, a sports nut, a CEO, a lover of the beautiful Utah outdoors, and a proud gay American. The out head of Apple told the cheering sold out crowd of 30,000 in Salt Lake City. I have come to deliver a simple message that I want every LGBTQ person to hear and to believe. Listen to the message. You are a gift to the world, a unique and special gift just the way you are. Your life matters. To you I say, find your truth. Speak your truth. Live your truth, Cook said. And he goes on to talk, and he says, my heart breaks when I see kids struggling to conform to a society or a family that doesn't accept them, struggling to be what someone else thinks is normal. Let me tell you, normal might just be the worst word ever created. You are not all supposed to be the same, feel the same, or think the same, and there is nothing wrong with you. Now I know that life can be dark and heavy, and sometimes it might seem unreasonable and unbearable. But just as night turns to day, know that darkness is always followed by light. You will feel comfortable in your own skin, attitudes will change, life will get better, and you will thrive. And that was Tim Cook saying this in the at this festival, the Love Loud or Loud Loud Festival in Utah. Beautiful statement. So we're just going to analyze it just a bit and say, I like what he said, especially where he said, you know, it's sad to see kids struggling to cope, they're being forced to live like the rest of the other kids, the straight kids in the world. And they try and make their children straight. Because the view is that when you're straight, you're normal. And he has said something very strong, that we are not supposed to be the same. It is a fact. Nature even bans sameness, even amongst twins. Even amongst twins. You know, the reason why people think twins are just identical and there's thoroughly no difference, it's because people don't value specificity. But when you are very specific, there is absolutely no identical twin. Twins are twins, but then there's absolutely no identical twin. Because if you count the number of hair in one twin, you'll find that this twin will have more hair than the other one. You may find one twin, they look alike, but one has a small dot, like mine here, my more, one more, and the other twin doesn't have it. So there are specific differences, even if something looks similar. So, what does that mean? Nature is diverse. And so Tim is saying there is nothing like a child is abnormal. Yes, and I believe that. What I mean by I think what he's trying to say, that's why he's not happy with the word normal, because normal means that there is someone perfect, and there's nobody perfect. Even in nature, we are not perfect. Some of us have big bladders, others have small bladders, others have small eyes, others have big eyes. So what's the perfect eye? You know, what is the perfect eye? What is the perfect nose? Is the best nose one that's flat or long? Is the best mouth with the small lips or thick lips? You see, there is nothing like the best mouth. There's nothing like the best ear. Some ears are carved, others are, they go in like this. So which is the best ear? You see? And fingers, I mean, is are long fingers good? Or short fingers are good? You see, since there is no standard to say that the best fingers must look like this, then it means that everybody is different and every difference is good. is not bad. It's not wrong to have short fingers. It's not wrong to have big eyes. It's not wrong to have a flat nose. You have it. It's yours. And the issue of the flat nose is making me laugh because in the Bible, they have a rule that the people who are to serve in the temple, the Levites, the Aaron, the tribe of Aaron, I mean, tribe of Levi, they were not to have flat noses. If you had a flat nose and you're in the tribe of Levi, you could not serve, even if you were a Levite. And I laughed at it and I said, oh my goodness, so sorry for flat nosed Jews. Yes, because the thing is, there are Jews who have flat noses. It's not all Jews that must have the long nose, as as um, as the writer of the law in the Bible wrote. You see, it's very funny. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that there is no perfect feature in the body. You see, that's why they rightly say beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So Tim Cook has rightly said that being gay, being lesbian, being transgender, being bisexual, being the families are supposed to take care of you and love you and accept you. Because there are children who are born with sight, then at a certain age they turn blind. There are children who are born deaf. There are children who they can hear with both ears, but then a blast happens and they lose their hearing, their sense of hearing. There are children who are born without limbs. There are children who have all limbs but one day get into an accident and they lose their limbs. Now, in all of those cases, a family accept that child as their never look down upon that, never make the child feel hated or rejected. It will affect the child even for life. And that's what Tim Cook said that was very important and it's thankful to we are thankful to the internet that we can read what he said. Even though so he did that and he's trying to tell families that no kid, when you see your child behaving like a female and he's a male, and then you feel like no that's bad, you're not a girl, that is his natural, his expression, it is hormonal, it is biological. Take care of them. You see your daughter, all she wants to do is climbing on trees, and then she's only wearing trousers and saying, Mom, I don't want to wear a skirt. And they say, no, you're a girl, you're supposed to behave like a girl. And then you force her to wear skirts because she's a girl, forgetting that she's exhibiting her biological expression, that she's manly. See, that's the thing people need to understand, that children are sexual beings. They are born. We are sexual animals. Secondly, we are also psychosexual animals. And that's the reason why when children are born, though they have not psychologically developed because they don't have words, they they are sexually also developing. So as a child is born, everything in his system is young, is very young. The psychological development is young, nascent. The biological development, nascent. Everything is small. Everything is small. He doesn't even have words. So you keep on adding those words in them to let them grow. And then as they grow big, then you can relate with them. But as they are growing, they're having experiences with their body. And this is why the Catholic Church is now in the pressure it is in. They need to sit down and study you and accept human sexual science. Sexual science. and understand. Do you know why there is sex abuse in the Catholic Church? It's because children are also sexual beings. But because they're sexual beings, there's a limit you have when you deal with them. Because they are sexual beings. It's just that they are immature, sexually immature. So they don't really understand what's happening to them. Do you know most of the people who are complaining are old people, they're adults. Why? Because of they have now matured sexually, but they are wired to remembering what happened to them because they are psychological beings, so they remember. And one of the things we remember is there's emotional memory. You remember certain things, and things to do with sex you can remember. So the Catholic Church is at a time to discuss all of these things, and we'll do this in another video because the Pope has said something to concerning children, sexuality, that he was saying you should take your gay children to a psychiatrist. And I was saying yes and no. Yes, to the extent if you are taking the child to a psychiatrist that understands that gay children are normal and that being gay is not an abnormality. That's what the psychiatrist should say. If you go to a psychiatrist that says your child is abnormal because he's gay, that's not wrong psychiatrist. That's why gay conversion therapy is the worst thing to happen to a gay child. You're killing him. You're killing that child. You're killing her. Do not attempt to change. It's like trying to say that this child who is born blind. You know why that when you are born blind, especially, it is beyond repair. It's now that we are getting new things that can try and restore the sight of blind people. But if you are born with it, it is almost you live your life blind most of the time, unless now you have helping aids. Same to hearing, same to like even these malls can be removed if I want to, but I don't find a problem with them now. So I'm not seeing a need to remove it. So what should happen is these people, instead of attacking people who are gay and lesbian and transgender and trying to convert them, accept them for who they are. Yes, it's an expression because someone should be happy the way he is. Don't undermine the person because, like as I said, you cannot change a feminine man. It's very hard because even if you give him hormones to make him masculine, he will he will not really he will not be himself. And that's why it is good for that person to come to choose. That's why I don't attack transgenders who go for the surgery. Yes, they feel. Feeling is biological because the mind is biological. I believe the mind is biological. It is life. I mean, if you're dead, how are you going to express yourself psychologically? You can't. So I believe the mind is also biological. And therefore, if a transgender feels like, I really want to now, I don't want to have a penis, I want to have a vagina, then let them do it. Yes, let them do it. Because that's who a transgender is. A transgender is somebody who feels, and and it's not even now, thankfully to the World Health Organization, they have said it's not even a sickness to be transgender because the the reason why you have those feelings is hormonal, and it's found that maybe you are an intersex and you are now expressing, you're finding yourself, you want to lie on your feminine side, and you have the estrogen, and that is making you feminine, so you feel like, now I think, yeah, I'm willing to transition, let me just be a woman. It's okay. I support it 100%. And because it is, we are human beings, people think that when you're born, that's the end of creation. No, you are still changing. I wasn't born with beards. I wasn't born with a mustache. I didn't have these, some things on my face didn't exist when I was a kid. Why? Because I'm growing. And as I grow, I acquire things that affect me and change my look. So that's the same thing that happens with transgender people. And that's it. You see? So Tim Cook did very well. Now, why did I bring Tim Cook's speech? This is the last part of the video. It's because I was arguing with my friends. I have straight friends too. And I don't mind. I mingle with everybody. That's my policy of life. Because I learn to live, I try and live with everybody. Whether you disagree with me or not, I do my best to try and live with you. But I will spend my time, my nice time with my friends whom I love. And because that's what I want. But when you have the simple socializations like on Facebook, I can talk to straight people. I can talk to pastors. I just talk to them, yeah, and we argue about LGBTQ issues. Sometimes I don't argue with others whom I know have already made up their mind. There's some people who they already made up their mind on the issue, and so you don't bother, don't change them, just leave them alone. But those who want to discuss with you, please discuss with them. So I brought this story of Tim Cook and I posted it on my Facebook. And immediately my straight friends were like, why? LGBTQ people are not so special. Why do you want to feel special? And I told him, no, this is what LGBTQ people need. They need role models, number one. Number two, they need encouragement to so that they can know their life is not bad. It's not wrong that they are gay. It's not. They need to be known they are loved, and that comes from a family. That comes from friends. That comes from leaders like Tim Cook. Tim Cook is not the head of an LGBTQ organization. Apple is a is an electronic device company that has nothing to do with sex. So he's not doing. He is coming out to the LGBTQ youth, showing them, you see, I'm successful, I'm gay, I am educated, I've made it, and I'm telling you also you can make it like me. And this is what is making the LGBTQ youth very happy that wow, there's Tim Cook, wow, there is let's see the other. There's Rosie, and wow, there's Ellen DeGeneres. You see Ellen, very successful, coming to work in Africa, and put something in Africa. Beautiful, and she's a lesbian. You see, so why should people feel like, oh, because this person is a lesbian, is a bad person, is a wrong person? It's a very sad mentality, and we're going to deal with it as long as we are online and on air, like what is happening in Africa, because there's the war of, oh, LGBTQ is Western, and it's not Western. It has been in Africa even before the whites came to Africa. It has been here. Egypt, ancient Egypt belongs to Africa. It doesn't belong to Europe. And there were homosexual rituals. So now, if you want to ban homosexuality, please remove Egypt from the map. Remove it quickly. You see? Yes. Ancient Israel is just a neighbor of Africa. It's not even in Europe. Israel is closer to Africa than Europe. And homosexuality was there. Fully. Ancient Israel. So if you have a problem, please remove Israel from the map. If you have a problem with LGBTQ persons, remove them. Because the homosexuality was also there. It didn't come from the white man who comes from Europe. So these are the things we're trying to tell people, that they need to reason and understand this is science. It is human science. And now that's why the religious setting, they need to now sit down with LGBTQ persons and accept them and show them love. Otherwise, we will do it on our own and we'll encourage ourselves and we will tell ourselves we're good. That's why we have our gay music chart. We put the gay musicians and they're making beautiful songs, Troye Sivan, my God, he's a man who can sing. Nakane, the South African, brilliant role model. You listen to him and you're a young gay person, you just say, my goodness, I wish I was just like this guy. He's making it. That's what makes you happy about who you are. That's why we come out. So we are very happy Tim Cook did that, and we need more pep talks for the LGBT community so that the LGBT community can rise and be happy about who they are.